Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 52 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and online at rathauto.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
It's the same rhetoric over and over. It's around 8 wins a year, every 4 or 5 years compete for an SEC championship. It's repeated over and over. I don't know if that's like logistically feasible, but it's not like this fan base is crying for things you can't achieve. It's not.
No, I think if you could average 8 wins, people would be elated. 6 in a bad
they
year,
went 9 and 4
10 in a good year.
2021. It was like the best year ever.
We're a basketball school. We're a basketball state. We want to be a football school. We want to be a football state. Mm-hmm. We're not.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
You know, it's funny. We always start What's Your Beef Wednesday a day or two early. It kind of bleeds in to the day or two before. So that was where we started yesterday. I've got 10 different beefs I want to get into today. I made sure to stack them up. So I need to, I'm assuming you guys have come locked and loaded here on What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. But just so you know, if you don't have any, I have plenty to go around this morning.
Well,
I feel like I brought a lot to the potluck.
We'll get to it in just a second. Get your best one ready. We'll start there.
Best one, okay.
Brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market, 479-443-0000. It is time to get everything going. And, hey, if you had a great 4th of July, you probably went to Richard's Country Meat Market. If another big weekend of grilling's coming up and you don't know what's going on the grill, Richard's Country Meat Market can help you figure it out. Bacon-wrapped fillets, gourmet burgers, fresh kebabs. They have everything you need to just relax around the grill and have a flavor-packed weekend this summer. Richard's Country Meat Market, 1 block east of College and Rolling Hills Drive, 3042 North Market Avenue, online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. My brother brought potato salad to the family reunion from Richard's Country Meat Market, still in the containers, you know what I mean, the plastic cylinder type containers. And of course was telling everybody he made it himself, even though it had the Richards logo on there, but everybody loved it. It did not last long. So
before I do
great potato salad.
You gave a shout out to your brother, so I want to give a shout out to mine. The Razorback Foundation. I don't know if you saw this, Tommy, put out a graphic of him, and you know how they celebrate different members.
Yeah.
And so they put out this graphic of him and his girlfriend Sydney in front of the big hog. This was her first time in Fayetteville, I believe, last year. She's a Texas A&M Aggie. And they put up the quote or whatever. It said, I graduated from the U of A in 2018. I've been a football season ticket holder since 2021. My favorite athletic memory is Charlie Welch's home run versus NC State and knocking off Texas in 2021. I think I identify as a pretty big Razorback fan. And then I realize who my brother is, and he is a psychotic with Razorback. I mean, he's nuts with Razorback sports. So I just want to give him a
You're just
shout
psychotic.
out. Yeah, I'm just nuts.
Yeah.
I'm just nuts. All right, beef this morning. I don't know how many of you expected me to utter the word Social Security out of my mouth, but I get an email from the government, whatever. I'm going through my list. I'm doing some math.
From the government or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm doing some math, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm projected to make if I withdraw early, if I withdraw late. This is my projected salary for the next 30 years, blah, 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 blah. And as I spend about
30. You're only 30.
Spend about, what is it, 35, 30, 37, 40, depending on how long I last.
58 by the time you get there.
Yeah, well, no, what's aggravating is, like, I'm doing all this work, I'm doing this math in my head, I'm meeting with my financial advisor later on today, and I'm like, and then I get agitated. It's like, why am I doing this? I'm not going to see a dime of this.
No.
I'm not going to see any of this.
None.
And it's like you've contributed. I think the number was $60,000 already. 60 grand.
Oh.
And hold on. It's 30 grand that I've contributed, 30 grand you've contributed.
Right.
And I'm sitting to myself, thinking to myself, you're telling me that I could just have 30 grand, or I guess 30 divided by whatever other tax it would be taken out. But that money's just gone. It's ripped apart from me. It's gone. I'll never see it.
Tax money that's already been taxed.
And that's what it is now at 30 years old.
Yeah.
Soon to be 31 in December.
Yeah. Fair to be more now.
And it's only going to get bigger, more bloated.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the scene. I watched The Dark Knight this weekend.
Yeah.
You remember when Heath Ledger, the late Heath Ledger, plays the Joker, and it towards the end of the movie, they're having a dispute between criminals, and he's like, you know what the great thing about gunpowder is? It's cheap. And he just lights half the thing on fire. That's basically what I'm doing, is lighting, or I'm doing, the government's doing, is lighting my money on fire because I'll never see it again. So that's my first initial beef of like the 10 I have.
Well,
here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
I'm hoping I get to see some of it. I'll be 50 later this year, and I've got my doubts. I am fully certain you or Colton will never see it, but I need y'all to keep paying in so I can get mine. That's what I need.
I read this stat that there's less younger people and more older people in the United States than there's like ever been. I was reading this story.
Yeah.
I think
and there's like in the next 8 years, a massive amount of people are going to retire and go on Social Security, which is not, and then it's not an entitlement. You've earned it. You paid it in, as you're talking about. But it is frustrating. I get that once a year letter or whatever. Hey, if you wait till you're 67, here's what you get. If you'll wait till you're 70, here's what you'll get. I'm not. When you meet with your financial guy later today, don't even make that part of your plan. That's what I've done.
So
I'm not counting on one dime of it. So.
I've got it written down. So go and cross it off, the Social Security aspect of it.
No, don't just count on paying it. Don't ever count on getting it back.
Yeah. So that's my initial. I screwed up according to B in Clarksville. He suggested here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline that I start at number 10 and get to 1. Well, I gave everyone my most frustrating initially.
Yeah,
and
you're the first guy ever to complain about paying taxes.
It's now only going to go downhill from here. But I know you at least have come to the realization of like, hey, make it might not. You're game playing without it. Not that I'm not game playing without it, but it's just like as you watch it grow and get larger, it only makes you angrier because you continue to add in, you continue whatever. And listen, to all of our listeners that are 65 and above that are drawing from Social Security and whatnot, I'm happy for you. You earned it, you got it, and you're getting it, and hopefully it goes to you the rest of your life. I'm just in a situation like Colton is.
But if I was at your age and I could just opt out.
No, we'll do it right now.
Oh, and let them have the money that's already there.
Yeah, keep it all.
Let me opt out.
Why? And help me on that. That's an FDR thing, right? I gotta try to remember my high school days.
Part of the
FDR.
What was the big deal? Well, I used the wrong word there. Sorry. What was the legislation? The famous legislation he passed?
Oh gosh, help me on that, Cole.
Oh, come on.
Deal. He just
the
gave
New
it to
Deal.
you.
He gave you the wrong. He used the wrong. No pun intended. But yeah, the New Deal.
Okay. Well, the New Deal is screwing over.
Not the
Ty
big beautiful
Richardson.
deal, but just the New Deal.
It's screwing over Ty Richardson in 2025 and beyond, and prior to that as well. So
You're just getting started being shafted by the government, sir.
Getting started, getting bent over and kicked over and over again. It stinks. It stinks. Where's your beef? I've given mine I've given my little soliloquy for the last 8 minutes.
I had several things kind of on the list this morning, then I kind of got walloped with something this morning that it's not, just work stuff, just drives you nuts. But
I heard some naughty words that I don't think your kids would want your kids.
And it had nothing to do with you, which is, unusual. Usually when I'm mad about something, it's you. But,
Well, they say the people you love the most make you the angriest and craziest. So you can take that for what you will.
And then I get a text from you last night. We may have to push our flight back on Thursday.
Yeah, because
the Razorbacks are hanging out late in Atlanta, so I guess we're going to stay in Hotlanta a couple extra hours.
It's like 1 to 4 is there. They have
our flights at like 4.
If I had,
so I'll be flying at 4. I got you on the red eye.
Well,
and don't be late for work on Friday either.
The deal. I mean, we would just need to probably stay an extra.
I'm not staying another night.
I really have no desire.
In fact, I may come in a day late and leave a day early.
I've got a buddy that lives in Atlanta. I might need to text him if I could crash at his place on Thursday night. But I think if I'm a player, we'll tell you who it is coming up in our opening drive. But you get asked the same questions like 50 million times. And I know it's a car wash of sorts for the players and coaches, but they just get the same question over and over again for like a 3-hour span. I know you're excited to be there. You're decked out in your suit. Everyone's taking pictures of you, interviewing you and stuff, but it becomes monotonous and it's just the same question.
But it's probably the most media you'll ever do in your life if you're a player, unless you become a superstar like Tom Brady or someone like that. Unless you become a mega star, even if you make it to the pros, you won't ever do as much as you'll do in that one day. It seems like maybe if you got on a team in a Super Bowl and you had a Super Bowl media day, but there's few occasions you'll get to do this. So for the players to get to do it, enjoy it. Like I said, you get to dress up, you get to show out. It makes your mom and your grandma and your grandpa and your dad and everybody else proud. Mm-hmm. You get to be on national TV when all your other teammates, other than two others, don't. I mean, it's an honor to be there. It probably is annoying to talk to a bunch of jokers like me and you, but at the same time, go in there and have fun with it. Don't give the stock answers. Don't listen to your SID. Say something fun. Say something inflammatory. You'll be remembered. And you're not going to have to go back anyway, because most of the people on the list are seniors anyhow.
Yeah, Arkansas's. Let's just go.
Back to throw. Got some time.
Here's your opening
short,
drive.
deflected, and intercepted by Sorey. They're going to throw off play action. Van Buren's hit. The ball's out. It's on the ground. The Razorbacks say they have it, and indeed they do. Cam Ball knocked it away from the quarterback coming on a blitz. First down at the 14-yard line. They bring a man in motion. They're going to keep it on the ground. Green's going to keep it. Option left. Gets by a defender at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Talon Green from 14 yards out. He just skipped the final 6. He's into the end zone, and we're a PAT away from a tie football game.
This is the opening drive.
Like Tom said, this is your opening drive. 3 guys going with Sam Pittman on Thursday of next week. Talon Green, Cam Ball, Xavier Sorey. The best player, the most face your program, funniest player, and a really good player, and your best player. Now, I thought that they'd bring Fernando Carmona Jr. instead of Sorey, but I don't. Again, Pittman's making a decision. The best player on this football team this year is Xavier Sorey. My opinion, I don't think it's close. The most important's always going to be your quarterback in Talon Green. Cam's not only the funniest, but he's also a really good football player in the Southeastern Conference as well. You wish you had a few Cam Balls, but not much. I mean, these are the only 4 guys we talked about. I mean, it's just that you basically switch Sorey for Carmona Jr. and that's who you're bringing.
And for all 4 of them, including Sam Pittman, you get to sit back, you get to watch a little bit on the SEC network of what happens all week long, kind of see what the temperature of the room is if you're Sam Pittman, what questions are being asked. You can prepare a little bit. You're in the afternoon, so they don't have to get there till noon?
Yeah, they'll probably get there around lunch.
So there's no early wake-up call. You don't have to get up at 5 a.m. and be at the airport and get on the private jet. It's less than 2-hour flight down there, hour and a half or whatever. They pick you up, drive. You get to kind of see what's going on. And then you get home that night. You'll be, probably having a good dinner there in Atlanta and then head back. It'll be a long day, but this isn't the worst schedule ever. It stinks for the media that have to stick all the way through it and cover, but that's just part of the gig. Ain't no big deal, But for Arkansas, you kind of at the tail end of this thing, but you also kind of get to see what the narratives are from a lot of other schools.
Yeah, and
I think that's important for Sam Pittman.
And Talon was there last year. Lando was there last year. Colton, do you remember who it was Andrew. Andrew Armstrong was there last year. So Talon's been through, not the ringer of sorts, but he went through it last year. He knows what to expect. Now, you think about Talon's kind of that second tier of attention. Like the most attention is going to be paid is Arch Manning. He's going to have Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow, like cameras and media following him everywhere. I think Texas is on Wednesday. I got to go back and double check that. But Talon he's not going to be an all SEC quarterback, at least preseason. Hopefully, knock on wood, we're talking about the potential of him being that in the postseason. But he's going to have some people. I mean, he's a second-year guy. He's one of the few second-year guys in this league. He's always going to have that 6'6" frame, the speed, and everything else. So you'll have some national media members following him. You also brought up the heat aspect. I was reading an article on CBS Sports yesterday that has Sam Pittman and Hugh Freeze on the same level on the hot seat, a 4.22. Which I thought was kind of interesting because I think Freeze's seat is hotter than his. Venables is above them, and then they've got a couple SEC coaches below them as well, talking about Friesen and Pittman. That's probably going to be a question that'll be asked of Sam, I would guess, next Thursday, like it is for probably the other three coaches I mentioned.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would imagine there will be a lot of narrative around revenue share and how your school's going to handle that, what your involvement's going to be. If you hired a GM like Arkansas has with Remy Cofield, how's that interaction going to be? I mean, those are some of to me, the low-hanging, obvious questions. Beyond that, as a coach, if you're Sam Pittman, you're sitting back and watching all the other schools that present on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and get a little narrative and just keep. Do you filibuster? Do you talk about your team for 15 minutes and leave little time for questions, or do you, do you go very short on the front end and open up to a lot of questions? So everyone's got a little bit different approach. We're probably over analyzing this, but I don't think it's a bad thing to kind of go towards the tail end.
You mentioned the seniors. You count, there's 11 quarterbacks?
I think there's 11 quarterbacks of the 16 schools. 11 are bringing QBs, if I remember right.
And while Talon Green is a transfer, he's at year 2 at Arkansas, being that he transferred in from Boise State before this past season. So between Jackson Arnold, who came over from Oklahoma, Zach Calzada is another one, that Matier kid from Washington State at Oklahoma. A lot of these guys that are here in Atlanta next week are transfer quarterbacks, and that's just the way of the world you think about in college football nowadays. You think about Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow, some of the notable Heisman Trophy winners that have won a national championship. And Burrow did, the other two didn't, but guys that transferred from different places. That's where it is now. I think it's going to be very rare nowadays that you see starting quarterbacks, whether they're national championship quarterbacks or Heisman Trophy winners, that win at the school they started at. Talon, again, is the example we obviously watch every single week. He's a guy that came in from Boise State, and you hoping he has a big year too. You mentioned the senior aspect as well. Tommy, all three of these guys, they're seniors, 5th years. So they played a lot of college football. Cam, I guess, is the only one that started his career. Zabian came over from Georgia. Talon came from Boise, and plenty of other guys in the SEC media outside of quarterbacks that are transfers as well.
And I'm looking as far as, returning quarterbacks going. Talon Green's one. Jackson Arnold was at Oklahoma, right? So he's not a returning starter at all. I'm just thinking about, Talon's going to be in probably a small group of returning starters at quarterback this year. DJ Lagway, Florida. Gunnar Stockton, new guy at Georgia that hadn't seen a lot of starting time. So, I mean, you just keep Garrett Nussmeier's another one that is at LSU. Austin Simmons, new guy at Ole Miss. Blake Shapen, QB graduate, Mississippi State, new guy in that slot.
Yeah, transfer.
New guy at Oklahoma. Was that Matier? I'm not as familiar with him. Mm-hmm. John Matier. So new guy there. Lenore Sellers, returning starter at South Carolina. So you just start looking at a lot of the quarterbacks. A lot of them fresh faces around the league. So Talon Green's kind of been a handful of guys. Pavia at Vanderbilt as well. He'll be there. So not a lot of returning starters, across the league.
Yeah, he's a JUCO guy. Now, we were, Colton and I were talking about.
Yeah, he's going to get 9 years to play.
Yeah, it seems like it. Colton and I were talking about, Colton, you came up with this great stat yesterday as we were kind of researching for some stuff after the show because we were filling with some things. As far as who's Talon Green's throwing the ball to this year, it's it's a lot different than it was last year.
There's only one returning pass catcher on the entire roster this year who caught a touchdown pass last year. Everybody else on the roster that caught a touchdown pass is gone. The only person left, the only holdover, could you guess, Tommy? Did you know?
I think we talked about it before the show.
Andreas Pushka.
Yeah.
The only person returning that caught a touchdown pass. Yeah, literally, he got 2 against Mississippi State. The team's leading returning receiver, in terms of just yards, is Rodney Hill.
I mean, that's almost as hard a question as yesterday's CJ's trivia.
That was.
What week is Arkansas playing Notre Dame?
One time I asked a hard question, people didn't get it, and they didn't have a chance to give away the gift card. So I've tried to throw some softballs and some hanging curves up there.
But to the point of what your research shows there, I mean, it just reiterates what we already know. It's a total rebuild at wide receiver, and how good's Talon Green going to be? Well, there's a huge part of that question. There's who's going to catch him.
One more time, Colton. Outside of the listed receivers, No player currently on the roster has more than how many receptions?
No more
And
than 10 receptions or 70 yards as a Razorback.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know if there's a position group in college football that has as much turnover as Arkansas's wide receiver.
That seems extreme, and I'm sure if you compared, and we got AI to figure this out for us somehow with all the other college football rosters, it's probably on the extreme end, I would guess. But this is also going to be these kind of superlative type statistics when you're in a transfer portal world.
So what's the bonding?
When you have guys leave because they're seniors, guys transfer out, you get new guys in. This is what you're left with a lot of times.
I forgot Washington ended up at Notre Dame. So what's the bonding? How do you expedite the chemistry? And you go paintballing.
You go
throw
the football around all summer long. Hopefully they've been doing that, not just beginning. They've been doing that since spring ball.
Talon's got that group text with all the guys, and
it's like an everyday deal.
Is playing as much as possible. That again is excited I am for the Petrino offense in year 2. You cannot overlook how not bleak. It's just that's hard to get over if you're an Arkansas fan. If you have high expectations of the offense.
All right, that's your opening drive. It's brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Summer is already heated up, and they got the clearance event going on at Burton Pools and Spas. Get a Doughboy Somerville above-ground pool, just over $7,000 right now. Super huge discount right there, and everything you need to jump right into your new pool, plus a 5-year warranty while they last. And if you're looking for low maintenance, fiberglass plunge pools start at under $40,000 right now. Soak it all in with a 7-person hot tub for only $74.99. Delivery is also included in that price. It's all at Burton Pools and Spas, Fort Smith, Springdale, Hot Springs, and Greenland, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life.
So the open practice for Arkansas basketball is later on today for the media. Colton's going to be attending. We'll tell you more about that as we continue on. It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday. If you've got a beef for us this morning, jump in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Way down the list.
Should have made a plaque.
A plaque.
This is the Morning Rush.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit. Split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for limited time at participating restaurants.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Like life, vacations don't always go as planned. If your summer getaway turned into a summer towaway, don't hire an attorney you don't know from a state you'll never go back to. Hire me, Jackie Mock. I'm licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, but I can process wreck checks no matter where you crashed. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, a wreck check sounds nice.
Many leather-bound books. My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Do you want to impress your wife? Then listen up. This is Sarah Ligon, owner of Lux House in Heritage Village. Lux House has everything: furniture, decor, candles, and all things home. I have a full line of custom designed furniture made right here in the USA. Check us out online at luxhouse.live or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. 479-357-0249. Lux House at Heritage Village, Barling. Here to help you stay out of the doghouse for years to come.
I want you in the worst way.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those. 107 down. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Woo Victory. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Make a great throw when they matter.
Called upon by Arkansas head basketball coach John Calipari today in the media practice. Can you make a free throw in front of all the pressure, intensity? Players are yelling at you. Can you do that? Can you deliver for ESPN Arkansas?
One free throw? Absolutely. It's gonna be nylon, nothing but.
Nothing but net. Arkansas is hosting a media practice later on today. Colton's going for us.
They're hosting having a practice open to the media.
Yeah, and
the media won't be practicing.
He's playing. Did you not? He's got a jersey and everything.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
I could give.
There
some
is
of
a
those
spot
guys.
on the roster still open.
I know they used to do that. I think it was. I think Clay. Maybe it was Tom that. No, I think it was Clay that shared a story of some media stuff back in the day. That would be fun if they brought back that back of sorts.
Well, They better have the medical staff in attendance
standby.
on direct standby, ambulance on site. If they do that now with some of our media.
So are we
including me, by the way.
Are we most interested in seeing a player that we watched on the team last year, like Carter or Billy or DJ or Trev, or is it one of the new guys? I mean, do we want to see how much better one of the guys has gotten in the offseason? Or is it, hey, I want to see Isaiah Sealy, Springdale kid in Fayetteville, or I want to see Darius Acuff, this 5-star freshman phenom that they brought in. Like, who are we most interested in to watch this basketball team?
Cal.
Oh.
I want to watch Cal. I want to see how he runs practice. You know, that was, to me, the most interesting thing when Musselman let us in was watching how he dealt with things. You know, I want to see how he gets out. I want to see how the staff interacts with the players. The players come, players go. The staff is what is the constant. That's the North Star. John Calipari is the North Star for now in this program. That's what I'm going to be most interested in.
I think at least it's been advertised. I don't know if Kenny Payne and the rest of the staffs would say otherwise, but what's been talked about is Cal lets his coaches actually coach. You know, there's a difference, and
they all say that.
And
by the way.
That is okay.
I mean, all head coaches say that. You know,
they just didn't.
But I think it's a little more maybe true because Cal is such a celebrity. He gets pulled in so many different directions. There's probably, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know this, but I suspect. Wouldn't your gut tell you there's days he probably misses practice because there's some kind of event, some kind of NBA deal, some kind of media obligation, something that maybe pulls him out of part of a practice, or they have to move practice to accommodate that? He has to rely on a staff to deal with things. So yeah,
I think that's fair to assume. Don't 100%.
I'm not saying every day. I'm just saying every now and then that probably happens.
Yeah,
it happens with other coaches too, but probably a little bit more with him because of the celebrity status.
Yeah.
You better have good people around you.
So we'll have the most in-depth perspective tomorrow on the show as we're going to be live at Hardee's, right, Colton? You ready to give us
Absolutely.
that tomorrow?
I'll be able to break it down.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. And I'm, to be honest with you, Ty, to answer your question, I'm excited to watch those freshmen, Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff, Isaiah Sealy, just to see how they're acclimating to college basketball, the pace of a college basketball type practice, and how things are going for them, where their confidence is at, and how they're fitting into things. So I'm excited to see that as well. And Tommy actually stole my answer. I mean, the star of the team is Coach Cal, so I'm really excited to see how practice is.
And what do they get? 10 of these summer practices
ask Richard. Don't ask me.
Yeah, I mean,
Hold
it's not
that for Richard and 30.
Well, I mean, it's not like they can practice now till the season starts.
Yeah.
You get a few more if you do an international trip, which is one every 4 years. And be interesting to see if those maybe thin out in college sports with the rev share and the tightening of the belt. Be hard to lay off 18 people and say, oh, by the way, we're taking the team to Italy again. That's maybe a bad look, but
kind of like going putting the spring meetings in Sandestin.
Yeah,
the Hyatt
we're
Hilton or
tightening
whatever.
the belt.
Jeez Louise.
We're here at the Hilton Sandestin talking about budget cuts. Yeah.
So we mentioned earlier in our opening drive, Campbell, Taylon Green, Xavier Sawyer are going to represent Arkansas along with Coach Sam Pittman at SEC Media Days this upcoming Thursday. We'll get into more of some of the SEC guys that are a part of that group as well. And then also I was talking with my buddy Ethan Westerman at Whole Hog Sports. He had a great little tidbit in his article this morning. Tommy, where do you think Arkansas ranks in their opponents' winning percentage from last year?
Opponents' winning percentage.
Like the teams that you played, Notre Dame, and all the non-cons, where do you think their opponents' winning percentage ranks in all of college football out of 136 FBS?
I'm going to bet it's high because they played a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess 12.
It's number one.
One. Okay. I had one of the two figure. I had 1 and 2 together. Yeah.
They went 106-53 last season, 67% winning percentage, and that is number one heading into this season of all FBS teams.
Team that made a bowl game too. I mean, it's not like you went 0 for 12 and that's helped the cause, in that stat. So I mean, you didn't win as many as anyone would like, but get what I'm saying too. So
you might have to help me on that. I'm talking about your opponents.
I understand that, but it wasn't like you were the easiest. You made them earn the victory against you, or you beat some teams that went on to beat other teams.
I get what you're saying.
I'm saying, but Arkansas didn't win as many games. I mean, that winning percentage also came at the expense of Arkansas winning against some of those teams as well.
All right, I get what you're saying. All right, that's your Hog Update this morning here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Hog Update, always brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, Ty mentioned it. We are going to be live at Hardee's tomorrow morning beginning at 6 a.m. $1.49 sausage biscuits. Get as many as you want. Call ahead. That's good at any Fort Smith area or Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Hardee's location, $1.49 sausage biscuits. We're also rolling back the prices to $2,005 on Monster Burgers. We're going to be there for lunch tomorrow. Your first chance to qualify. Get a Monster Burger for only $3.50. $3.50 for a double patty big Monster Burger at Hardee's. We'll tell you more about it. Join us for the Morning Rush, 9 to 11 tomorrow live at Hardee's on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Morning Rush Daily Question when we come back.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Protect what matters most with the Fence Man. From heavy-duty security fencing to powered automatic gates, the Fence Man's got Fort Smith covered. The Fence Man has served the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. Custom built and built to last. Free quotes, financing for 18 months. When it comes to security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fence Man. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
That's a hell of an analogy there, Colton.
Thank you.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Taco Bell's new crispy chicken tacos and burritos are so delicious.
Wait, Taco Bell's a chicken place now?
Nope, they're a taco place.
So this crispy chicken taco's from another chicken place.
No, it's from Taco Bell.
But this chicken is all white meat with avocado ranch. Gotta be from a chicken place.
It's coated in crispy tortilla chips. That's Taco Place.
I don't know. It seems like Taco Bell's just a chicken place now.
Well, the crispy chicken also comes in burritos.
What is even real?
Try the new crispy chicken tacos and burritos from Taco Bell. Your taco place that's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
SEC Media Days next week in Atlanta, brought to you by the Stadium Shop. We're going to be there.
Bang, bang.
Ty, what's the smartest line of questioning? What's the topic that needs to be discussed? Not just Sam Pittman. I'm talking about across the code. There'll be a theme by one writer. There'll be something they ask every coach. What's one of those things that, maybe I hadn't thought about that. How does that affect my school? How does that affect my coach, my administration? We were talking during the break, some of the cuts Arkansas had to make and the tough choices administrators are making around the country right now to make things work. There's a lot of moving pieces in college sports right now. Head coaches haven't been available to really talk about a lot of these things. I think a lot of those things are going to come up. What's the one thing maybe you out there listening this morning want maybe a little peek behind the curtain and an opinion from a head coach on? Lewis Automotive Group hotline open 877-377-6963. What's maybe something that's not X's and O's, that's not personnel related with your football team that you think would be a smart question next week?
I think it's tough on these coaches because I know what they think in a room with their friends and then what they're going to say publicly, right? Whether it's the transfer portal, NIL, these various things that have changed the sport in the last 4 years. It's like none of them like it, but you can't necessarily just go out and say that publicly because then that's going to be used against you in recruiting. I would say like my biggest thing. So for like the Matt and Iam Aliava situation for Arkansas fans, like you're excited, you flip this 4-star kid. You never flip 4-star kids on signing day, right? That happens against you. Like how many times, and you've done this more than me, how many times has that happened where Arkansas has flipped a kid on signing day? With like Alex Collins, that was a deciding factor, but you didn't necessarily flip him. So my thing is like Coach Pittman or Coach Freeze, Coach Kiffin, Coach Smart. How do we eliminate the rampant transfers while still where's the balance of allowing a kid to transfer schools but not be on his third or fourth or fifth school in 5 years? I think that's my biggest thing because, for example, you've got one kid that's been here his entire career in Cam Ball that's representing you. The other two kids, you wouldn't be the same football team without Taylor Green and Xavier Sori. Mm-hmm. So it's helped you, and there's been other guys that it's helped you, but I think that's one of the biggest things that Arkansas fans talk and SEC. It's like, man, kids are leaving not even after a year.
Yeah,
you're not going to play your freshman year. There's Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. That's like, do you know other true freshmen that played in college football last year? It just doesn't happen. So that's That's what I would want to know.
You know, the business side of college athletics has been a little ugly the last few weeks. We're all saddened by the departure of Kevin Trainor from the athletic department, a name that people in the media know. So, and I think a lot of fans know as well. But there's 17 other people that were, dismissed from their jobs as part of cuts. So this isn't unique to Arkansas. I think an interesting thought, I don't know if the coaches would speak on this, is, what cuts, what sacrifices, what things are you having to eliminate from your football program? Is it a recruiting analyst? Is it maybe we're not going to do certain things on trips this year, or is football untouchable? Is it immune from these cuts? I'd kind of like to hear what football's maybe had to sacrifice a little bit as the belt tightening around college athletics has happened.
Or and more direct questions, like, were you asked, or would you be willing to help alleviate some of the changes by taking? I think Sam is making 6.7, which is like 13th or 14th in the league.
That's not an uncommon line of thinking.
It's not. It's like,
but when a Fortune 500 company or a Fortune 100, when Walmart has to lay off 1,000 people across the country, does the CEO take a pay cut? Does anyone cry for that? Nor should they. I mean, sometimes tough decisions have to be made, and it's ugly. But I don't think it's also the first thing you should do is, well, the fattest cows should take the haircut here. Just because they're, they shouldn't be the first to the butcher shop. Probably could come up with a better analogy, but that's what we all look at is, hey, well, this guy up here, he's the AD, he's making 1 point, blah, 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 and the coach over here is making 5 point, blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean,
Hey, Sam.
What are you going to do?
Should Cal take a pay cut?
Yeah. You would go to Cal and say, Dave Van Horn. You want Dave Van Horn to take a pay cut?
And
No.
Then you direct that
you
back.
Don't.
You direct that back to all of us listening. Obviously, you as a listener and me as a radio host make far less than Sam Pittman, John Calipari, Hunter Yurchek, and whatever else. But if
it's close, but it is less.
If you were asked by your boss or your employees, okay, can you take a pay cut? I think a lot of you, I don't know if offended's the right word, but you'd be like, that's hard. It's easy. Like, what do you always say? It's easy to spend someone else's money.
Yep.
Well, it's also easy to tell, hey, you should take a pay cut. You should take a pay cut.
You're making enough. Well, who gets to determine what's enough?
So
I don't think that's
a good question.
I'm not talking about their salary. I mean, that's what I wasn't even where I was saying, but I can't imagine as we've only heard about personnel cuts. I got to imagine part of the belt tightening behind the scenes is, hey, we're going to eliminate this expense. It's not just people, this expense, this luxury we've had of hey, we've had food catered in after every practice, or whatever it is.
You thought the media meals were bad before.
Bring back the red hot dogs. I'm just saying, what are some of the things that coaches would publicly talk about that have been eliminated as an expense item? Not necessarily personnel, an expense item from their programs, just trying to make ends meet now.
I'll point to one, and then we'll let Colton chime in. So Arkansas, and I forget it might have been a Forbes article, but I remember reading the Razorbacks athletics department was the highest, had the highest budget of any, I want to say public university, public athletics department in the country spending on food.
Mm-hmm.
The Jerry and Gene, I'll make sure I'm saying that, the Jerry and Gene Jones Academic Center, which also houses the food for the student athletes.
Because they are student athletes.
Yes, it was the most amount of money spent on food. There's no way that's the case now. In leading up to this, and then in 2025. Colton, what were you going to say before we get to Dick?
Just if I was going to ask these guys a question, I'd want to know if it's becoming more difficult for all this recruiting, like how the recruiting battles are stacking out with, how much money you're able to give to certain players here and there. I mean, is that throwing a wrench in your recruiting system and the way that you're doing things, or are you just hoping that the money is there? I just want to get an insight from all these coaches on how, things are changing on the recruiting trail, because at the end of the day, while the transfer portal is a huge, huge priority for major, Division I college football programs, still the lifeblood of college football is getting recruits and getting high school recruits. So just want to see where things are changing from that standpoint.
And Arkansas's got 26 committed for the class of 2026. I think Auburn has 6. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question, brought to you by the #1 indoor golf destination in Arkansas. Tuesdays in July from 9 to 5. It's just $25 per bay per hour. That's an incredible deal. Again, $25 an hour from 9 to 5 on Tuesdays, Take your team out there, take your family out there, take your friends out there, not just on Tuesdays, but any day during the week. I know weekends, you're looking for somewhere to get out of the heat. Well, Cart Pass Social is that place. Don't have to wear golf attire. It's BYOB. You can bring your own food, and it's right in the heart of Northwest Arkansas. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, 479-487-3622, or go online to cartpasssocial.com.
It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville, 479-443-0000 to place your order, or richardscountrymeatmarket.com. Dick is in Fayetteville on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Dick, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ty. What's up?
How are you?
I'm fine. Listen, glad you're talking about Richard's Meat Market because that's my spot. And, of course, Richard and Chris have been around forever. But anyway, a lot of the conversation y'all had, and this is further back in your show, is about the dismal prospects or the lack of prospects and so forth in the receiver group. And then we go to other things that we seem to have no chance to compete in. And I just wanted to give you a mindset that I try to keep when looking at our chances to succeed. And that mindset is this. For every 5-star prospect that someone has on their team, we'll have a 4-star prospect. Now, that 5-star against me would be night and day difference, but the 5-star against our 4-star might not be but a step difference. And the competition they played for might be not the same as the competition our 4-star played for. And then there's the 3 factors that you don't take into consideration for football players and football teams, and that is smart, heart, and chemistry. Those 3 things may be as important as the difference between a 3-star and a 5-star and all that statistical stuff that you throw out, and even the money. So when I think about the possibilities of us succeeding and failing, I want to see somebody rise to the top early. I think we need to we're not going to be as deep as most people, so we're going to have to stay relatively injury-free, and we're going to have to be lucky when we need to be lucky. If those 3 things happen, and we're smart and have heart, play with chemistry, I think we have a good chance to do a lot of things this year. Now, you tell me what you think.
Dick, we appreciate the call. The luck always plays into it. We've talked about that with Arkansas baseball over the years. A coworker of ours, Matt Jones, go look at his recruiting profile. He's a 3-star coming out. You have to, if you are the head coach of this university, which Sam Pittman is, not only in my opinion, you got to lock in the in-state, which they're having trouble with this class of 2026, but you got to find not necessarily diamonds in the rough, but for guys that are not as heralded, not highly recruited, and the evaluation that you and Travis Williams and Bobby Petrino and the rest of the staff has to be supreme and superb. And not just in high school ranks, Tommy, but you got to do that in the portal now, too.
Well, and what Dick's talking about used to be so true when Arkansas would get those in-state linemen, and they wanted to play for the name on the front of their jersey. They wanted to play for that Razorback on the side of their helmet. Today's world's become so transactional with portal and NIL and now rev share that it's just hard not to take the leg up on life when it's offered.
But and the other aspect, and I got text about this yesterday, what have these kids watched the last 10 years that wants to make you go to Arkansas? I had Matt Jones, I had Darren McFadden, I had Tyler, I had the late Ryan Mallett. I had reasons I wanted to go to Fayetteville. They haven't had those the last decade. With what, 2 years, 15,
and they're going to be
21?
parents someday. So it's got to get turned around because they're going to have kids someday too. Hey, the season never stops at Oaklawn Sports. Major League Baseball's in full swing. We got the Open Championship next week. We got PGA Golf, Live Tour, WNBA all going on, plus preseason football lines, win totals, and predictions all there that you can wager on now. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets, plus the 10% profit boost on qualifying 3-leg parlays. Hey, Arkansas's best sports betting app is Oaklawn Sports. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
We'll chat with Richard Davenport when we come back.
Protect what matters most with the Fence Man. From heavy-duty security fencing to powered automatic gates, the Fence Man's got Fort Smith covered. The Fence Man has served the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. Custom built and built to last. Free quotes, financing for 18 months. When it comes to security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fence Man. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by a limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special
Thanks for
financing.
watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings Boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic Box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme Box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery Box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier.
They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course.
So shop at Rowback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season right around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas.
The 9632-1050. Cop CDL Academy. Expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 52 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
It's the same rhetoric over and over. It's around 8 wins a year, every 4 or 5 years compete for an SEC championship. It's repeated over and over. I don't know if that's like logistically feasible, but it's not like this fan base is crying for things you can't achieve. It's not.
No, I think if you could average 8 wins, people would be elated. 6 in a bad year,
went 9 and 4
10 in a good year.
It was like the best year ever.
We're a basketball school. We're a basketball state. We want to be a football school. We want to be a football state. We're not.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
All right, it's hour number 2 of the Morning Rush here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. I went in on Social Security in hour number 1. I think we're going to talk about parking as we get going.
I'm sure Congress is going to meet this afternoon and change it based on what you had to say earlier.
I mean, $30,000 down the drain. It's just dumb. Never see it. And it's only going to continue to grow. It's like the Joker.
Keep paying it, though.
Fired.
I'm going to get there someday. I'm going to need you to keep paying in so I can get mine in about 18 years.
Can't I just, like, pick it against paying it? Or ask the Supreme Court to strike it down?
I'm 49, and I might opt out right now and let them keep it.
Yeah. Because I can do
better
than what they're doing right now. Parking is my beef that I want to talk about in hour number 2.
It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richards Country Meat Market in Fayetteville, 479-443-0000. Fire up the grill with gourmet burgers, house-made sausages, bacon-wrapped fillets, fresh kebabs. They've got it for you, a summer full of flavor, and they can pack it all up for you and have it they can bring it right out to the car. I went to a tie mode there. They can bring it right out to your car, curbside delivery as well. 479-443-0000 or go to richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
So I saw in the long email that we got sent by Chuck Dunlap of the SEC yesterday, various different information packets. In addition to all of that, they announced neither I or you will be driving next week when we get to Atlanta, thank goodness. But they did mention, and this just like when I see this, even though I'm not even having to pay it, it makes my blood boil. I was taught at an early age by my father, it doesn't matter how far you have to walk, find the free parking spot. 30 years later, I'm still abiding by that same philosophy. They are charging $60 a day.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have a choice. I mean,
and Atlanta's not exactly the best place in the world to just leave your cart on a curb or anything else. So I get the security aspect, but $60 to leave your car.
Boston, it was $69.
That's what you were saying
overnight. Yeah.
That is absurd.
But the garage was really clean. It was really nice.
Well maintained.
Yeah, well maintained. Floors looked like they had just pressure washed.
I think, and I know some people just swipe the card or pay it and
you don't
worry
think
about it later.
that's one of those charges when you travel you don't think about, and then bam, $50 a night, 40. Anytime you stay downtown at any hotel anymore, they just rail you on
rake you against the
I mean, it is unbelievable and sometimes your parking can be several $100s if you're there a few nights.
Now, I haven't been to Dixon Street in a minute, but have they finished that parking garage or is it done?
What would make you believe I know all the
Colton,
the finer details?
You're the younger.
He's a married
have
man.
a child, Ty.
He's
Why
got-
would
you
I be
think we
spending
know what's
time
going on
Dixon Street?
I got to be honest. I feel out of place now when I go to Dixon Street at
You're
30
too
years
old.
I've aged. I don't even after football games. Like we beat
You're an old man.
We beat Tennessee. I'm excited. It's like, all right, I don't have to do post game. I'm with a Tennessee friend so we can make fun of. I'm with a couple buddies from Arkansas. Like, let's have a night of the town. We have one drink and it's like, you want to go home? And they're like, yeah. So we went home.
I think we went to Dixon. Stayed longer than you did that night. I'm a lot older than you.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Hey, Dr. Bo Sparkman and his team at Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, are there for you. They're at the entrance to Riley Farms. They offer every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry to braces, implants, cosmetics. They do everything right there. Plus, they've got the Snore Guard. And if you mention you heard it here on the Morning Rush, you get $300 off your custom-made Snore Guard that will eliminate that loud chainsaw sound that your wife says you're making every night. 479-226-3500 for an appointment. 479-226-3500, or go to valleyfamilydental.com. Let me get that right. valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
All right, Rod's on I-40. Before we talk with Richard, let's talk with Rod. Rod, good morning.
Yeah, I got a beef with the football team. I know they won 7-6 last year. Congratulations, but they are undisciplined. You're talking about people not catching passes, dropping passes, interceptions. You give me a team full of 3-star disciplined athletes, I'll push your 5 stars all over the dang field. I mean, literally, you just have to know that. Fat boy can't run more than 5 yards, but he got glue for hands. That's my tight end. I don't care. As long as he catches the ball before he tries to run discipline, check down if you're the quarterback. Don't just throw it to anybody. I don't care if it's a 12-yard post route. If you got a guy on a dish route over to the left, 5 yards, take your 5 yards. Throw it away. I mean, don't hold on to the ball too long. Discipline, right?
I know it was frustrating, Tyrone Broden. And listen, Tyrone caught that pass against Florida 2 years ago, which was awesome. But, I mean, how many times did Broden drop a ball last year?
Yeah.
A couple of them led to it. I feel like a couple led to interceptions. That was annoying. And to your point, Rod, I just looked it up because I thought I had this right. Any idea where Arkansas ranked in penalties last year? And this has unfortunately been a characteristic the last 5 years for the most part. Even in 2021, they were like 90-something or 80-something. Any idea where they ranked in penalties last year?
I thought it was slightly better last year.
It's 101st.
That's not better.
Not better. 101st out of 134 FBS football teams. So, to Rod's point, I think about like the false starts on the offensive line. You got to drive Cook in, Petrino. He's dialing it up. All of a sudden, false start and backs him up. Then they don't complete a third down or they miss an opportunity on fourth down. There were some games last year, like the Tennessee game, for example. You should have beat them by 2 or 3 touchdowns. You did win that game, but if you go back, the Tennessee game, if you go back and watch that game, they went 0 for, I think, on fourth downs. They were like 0 for 2 or 0 for 3. Rod, I completely understand where you're coming from. They were, at times, so undisciplined last year, and you hope that's because they don't really have a lot of room for errors, Tommy.
No. So how did they win the Tennessee game?
Defense.
Yeah.
Tennessee only scored 2 touchdowns.
1917?
1914.
1914.
Tennessee managed 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. Nico had an awful game thanks to T. Will dialing it up, and that defensive line was eating him alive.
Are you
all
saying we
night.
brought him down to our level?
They just, no. Well, that was a gross game. I mean, it was. It was in 1914. It was a slugfest, and
But we rushed the field. It had to be a great night.
It was a great night.
We tried to tear down a goalpost.
Debatably the best night of 2024, but offensively, you're probably going to have to win some more games this fall, I would think.
All right, if you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, it is powered by Taco Bell. My family wanted some Taco Bell last night, so they went and got something cheesy, saucy, and crunchy. Taco Bell's always got you covered. If you're going to Atlanta like we are next week, traveling for work, or you're on vacation, take the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell, with you.
All right, so let's talk to our buddy Richard Davenport, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. RD, that game was at night last year. It was a great atmosphere. Arkansas came out on top. I know there's an opportunity or two for a later game, but I mean, you're probably starting to get an idea when Arkansas is going to have some official visitors and whatnot. Wish that Notre Dame game was at night, but is the Texas A&M game probably going to be the most visited one this fall, being that it's either a flex game or a night game, if I remember that correctly?
Yeah, it's a 2:30 or 7 o'clock. Yeah, that's the one that is the most logical as far as the amount of visitors. An attractive game. The Notre Dame game, even though it's 11 a.m., it may motivate some kids that normally wouldn't think about an 11 o'clock game. May motivate them to try to make put that extra effort in to try to make the game. I mean, 11 a.m. obviously is just very difficult, especially for kids 7, 8, 9 hours away. But maybe they're able to swing it somehow. But the Texas A&M game definitely is the one that I look at and think, okay, that's the one that could possibly be the best one for visitors. And the Missouri game, if they have a good season, the Missouri game at the end of the season could be really good from the standpoint that a lot of kids their seasons are already over, and it's they'll have probably an extra day to travel. So those are the two that probably stick out the most to me.
And I know we look at the games in terms of the difficulty of the opponent and where you're playing at, but when you look at it from a recruiting standpoint, Richard, not only the game times that have already been announced, but you're traveling on the road to Memphis, you're going to Little Rock. I know the A&M game's not in Dallas, but I mean, just the recruiting setup for Sam Pittman and the rest of his staff, it's not ideal this year, is it?
No, it's been a challenge for Arkansas for quite some time because of playing in Little Rock and the A&M game in Arlington. That's two potential home games that you could have that everybody else, for the most part, has, and they're able to host kids. At least one or two games more, and that kind of obviously hurts Arkansas. So it's status quo now. Will this year's Arkansas State game be the last one in Little Rock? That would help, so that you could have that game on campus, and then. But you look at Arkansas's non-conference schedule. You got Notre Dame and Memphis. I mean, and Memphis always plays SEC teams very tough, and it's on the road. And Arkansas's schedule is you just wonder, what is the SEC thinking? Now I understand Arkansas is very involved in the scheduling of the non-conference, obviously, but at the same time, it's just two pretty tough non-conference opponents, and then you throw in the SEC schedule.
Yeah, Richard Davenport with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette with us. We've been talking the last few weeks about missing out on the best players in the state. I don't know how you turn that tide, but once again, the best players in football in our state go elsewhere. We were talking about yesterday NBA. There was a report that Ty had read that NBA players per capita on current rosters, Arkansas is the number one state for natural-born talent in our state for the NBA. I mean, those two things don't seem to even go together. How could you have so many players on NBA rosters? What was it, 17 or 11 players? 11 players on rosters. We had 17 recently, but 11 players on rosters, and you can't seem to translate that to the other sport. It's puzzling, Richard.
Yeah, NIL has a good bit to do with this. I mean, each team has to decide how they want to spend their money and build their rosters. And I think it's pretty obvious that Arkansas is kind of they're competitive NIL wise. Obviously, the House settlement situation should help, but before the House settlement. They were up and going. It was a challenge going against the upper tier SEC teams as far as the amount of money. So you have to decide how do you want to spend that money. And Arkansas seems to be more of a team that looks at the portal for NIL money versus high school, and some teams had more money that they were able to split the money pretty much. High school recruiting and portal recruiting, and with Arkansas, they really had to put more money into the portal, and I think that makes sense to be honest with you. But with the House settlement, it's still in the early stages, so we're still trying to learn all the ins and outs of that. But I think it will be a better thing for Arkansas going forward. It just may take a year or two to get all the kinks out of it. It seems like even now that there's teams finding loopholes to try to figure this thing out and gain an advantage. So I'm learning new things every day about the House settlement and how teams are trying to kind of gain an advantage. So it's kind of crazy, and I'm sure some of the teams are learning on the fly too. So we'll see.
Are you going to the open basketball practice later today?
I'm planning on it.
Yeah.
I'm planning on it.
Oh, I think it's interesting, Coach. We have these summer practices. I think it's 10 or so they can have, but unless they're having a trip or something, you may correct me on that. But I think it's interesting that they're opening one up here in July, the week before media days. What are you most interested to see? We were talking about this earlier. I still think the North Star, and the thing I want to see is Coach Cal and how he runs a practice. But I know there's some of this new talent that you've covered that's coming in that you've got to be interested to see how they're gelling with their teammates.
Yeah, I think that's always the new thing, especially with the emphasis on the portal and everything, and just about every sport. I mean, especially the main two sports, Arkansas football and basketball, and along with baseball. But how the new talent meshes with the old, and just see how the chemistry is. I think that's always the thing, the part that you look at, because sometimes, especially in the early part of the season, you see teams struggle with that, and then as the season goes on, you see that the chemistry and the trust of each player and their teammates grows, and then you see a better quality of a product on the court. So I think that's the thing that I'll be looking at, just the new additions and just how they mesh in with everybody else. And you're right, to see how Cal coaches and it's got to be a trying thing, especially adapting to the portal. Obviously, it's nothing new, but it's still an adjustment to where you didn't have as many newcomers as far as older guys, and then they've been playing in, say, in a different system for 2 or 3 years, and they come to Arkansas and have to learn that, and then obviously get used to their new teammates.
I'm just really interested. Do they have the size on the front line? Do they have a couple true fives? And when it comes down to getting aboard late in the game, like we saw against Texas Tech, do they have the depth at that position to do it? It does seem like that they have. They should. I guess time will tell whether they truly do or not. But they got the numbers as far as the big guys, and then you got you got another one or two coming in. So, but I would think so. But again, we're going to find out in a few more months.
Artie, we know he's not playing on the team this year, but we did have J.J. Andrews on, who's committed in the class of 2026 for basketball. That's about as well-spoken a young man that we've ever had on these airwaves. He sounded like a college senior rather than a high school senior. I know he's recently elevated to a 5-star as well. Just what is your excitement level for getting a chance to watch him grow this year and see him eventually in Fayetteville?
Well, I mean, you said it. I mean, it was the number one thing that you notice with him when you interact with him, just the way he carries himself, his maturity, they're these kids are exposed to so much because they usually play in spring and summer basketball and playing basketball year round, but they're playing against the best competition, in spring and summer basketball, and it's kind of an old hat for them in communicating with the media and people, outside their circle. But there are some kids that are better than others, and he's a step above most kids when it comes to his ability to communicate and just his maturity. He's usually, I'm sure you couldn't see him, but I'm sure he was smiling the whole time when he was talking to you too. That's the thing that really just gets me. He's a happy kid, and obviously with his parents, they've done a great job with him, and he's just a joy to talk to, and he uplifts you. As a guy that's a little older, a lot of times I talk to some of these guys and I say, "Hey, you uplift me. You motivate me because of the way you interact and the type of person you are." And he's one of those kids.
Richard, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff as always. Richard Davenport, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette has covered recruiting for what? What are we on? Half a century now? Close to it,
man.
Yeah. I'm not that old yet.
Yeah,
something like that. Well, we'll chat next week, buddy. Live from Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, buddy. We'll see you guys.
All right, Richard Davenport with us here every Wednesday on the Morning Rush. It's brought to you today by our friends at Farm Credit. If you're finding the right financing options to remodel your current home or you want to build a brand new one, it's easier than ever when you stop by one of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations and let their experts guide you from start to finish. Or you can go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com and see all of the financing options that they offer. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, making dreams come true for more than 100 years.
We got a text from Red and Van Buren on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, and I feel this. Red, his beef is still the 2009 football game against Florida and the 2010 football game against Auburn, both being on the road. The Mark Curls game in Gainesville, the game against Auburn where you felt like Niles' knee was on the ground. You also felt like you punched out, was it Trey Mason before he got to the end zone, and they gave the touchdown to Auburn anyway against the Heisman Trophy winner in Cam Newton and the national champion and Heisman Trophy winner in Tim Tebow.
There's got to be technology at some point where we can put a microchip in a football or something and know, did that ball get to the goal line?
They had that in soccer.
Do they?
I think so.
Yeah, it's the goal line. Yeah, 100%.
They got microchip in the ball?
Well, then how's the SEC going to rig things if they add that in?
The greatest kept secret in all of sports, how they rig games. Absolutely.
I'm going to be honest.
Because what happens is you can't see the ball. Then replay, can't see the ball.
I'm going to be honest.
There's got to be a better way.
2009 would have been my freshman year in high school.
Then was his knee down when the ball there's just so many things.
There's elements to that. I have the angriest I've ever been on these airwaves after an Arkansas football game was the Bo Nix botch spike in 2020.
You didn't even know what happened, though, at first. You had no clue.
Yeah, Audrey screwed it up. Audrey screwed it up, right?
Huh?
Was it Jason Autry? He screwed it up.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
He went on to work. He did. He messed it up. But no
cost us the football game.
Well, so
I can't even
extremely
imagine
unusual play.
The veins that would be popping out of my head if I was on the air that next Monday or on Hog Reaction following those two losses.
99% of people didn't know what had happened in the moment. They didn't realize it was a backwards pass. I didn't realize it till you went to replay.
I saw Joe Fouché come on the ball. Yeah. That's what happened, and we should have won that game.
Yeah. There's been some adjustments. I agree. It was totally a messed up deal.
Phantom pass interference call in 2009, or the Malcolm Shepard personal foul. There's one other.
Bad.
There was a bad ball. They gave Tim Tebow an extra yard and a half for a first down. Trust me, those are all ingrained in my head, Red. I feel you, and it's 15 years
all
later.
A big conspiracy, right?
That game it was.
How do we keep Arkansas down?
They won 1-2 in the SEC title game in Alabama.
They've been working hard to keep the Hogs down for 30 years in this league. It's a big conspiracy.
We got screwed in that game. We got screwed in 2010 when they wanted to protect Scam Newton and that undefeated Auburn team as well. Still,
all right. What do you want for lunch?
Red.
What do you want for lunch today? How's a burger sound?
Burger sounds great.
Burger sound good to you, Colton? I want a cheeseburger, maybe a bacon cheeseburger. Go to Art's Barbecue. No one's got a bigger or better selection of burgers than Art's. They hand patty those. The Wild West burger is topped with a hot link. I know you like the spicy side of things, and jalapenos as well. So if that doesn't kind of get your day spiced up, I don't know what will. Plus, you can put some Art's hot sauce on there. They also have the brisket burger where they take their tender brisket, chop it up, use caramelized onions with it, put some cheese on it, melt it all together on top of one of their hand-patted, fresh grilled burgers. And their famous burger, the Art Attack burger, house bacon, smoked ham, not stopping there, onion ring, and a fried egg,
Dang.
all on one burger. You can try those out today at Art's for lunch. That'd be a good lunch today. Put those onion rings with it or their house-cut fries. If you go on Saturdays, $1 off all burgers on Saturdays at Art's Barbecue and Burgers. So if you're craving a burger today, or I've made you hungry for a burger, get to Art's Barbecue. They open in 35 minutes on Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. That's Art's Barbecue and Burgers.
Right. When we come back, there is a certain LSU gymnast that tried to buy Babe Ruth's apartment and was not allowed to. We'll tell you that in our SEC update when we return.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
I've been wrong before. 1978, I think it was.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by a limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardee's for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16 hours slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join My Rewards. The app for terms.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has raked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, King G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there, yes. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally it's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Guys, I'm so upset. So a few months ago, I decided I was going to make my first real estate purchase, which is so exciting, and I was going to get an apartment in New York City. But the gag was, it was Babe Ruth's apartment. So naturally, I'm telling everybody, I'm excited. I was going to buy it. Paul and I went, I got an interior designer because I didn't want to bring my college furniture to Babe Ruth's apartment. That would be criminal. Then the week that I'm supposed to get my keys to my brand new apartment, I get a call. The co-op board denied me. So pretty much the people in the building voted to not have me live there, which is fine. Honestly, it wasn't financial. It could have been, for all I know, they could have been Alabama fans and I went to LSU.
If you were the head of your POA, would you deny Livy Dunn entrance into your neighborhood?
I would not.
Evidently, that's what this neighborhood. How about Babe Ruth's apartment? Someone bought Michael Jordan's former estate, turned it into an Airbnb, and now makes a ton of money off of that. But I would be if you're a Yankees fan to be able to say that I bought Babe Ruth's former apartment would be pretty cool. But evidently, Livy,
it had to be like some old women that didn't want this young hot thing running around that building, right?
You would think.
Had to be some blue hairs that kept her out of there. She said it was the POA, the co-op, whatever she said.
It's kind of an interesting situation. You buy into the building. I was reading a little more on this this place. It's just odd. It's not. I know there's different odds and ends with apartment complexes and especially older places, rules and whatnot. But
if she's looking for a place to stay, I know a 30-year-old guy in Fort Smith that's got a extra room in his house.
No, it's being occupied by my two roommates.
You would kick him out tomorrow.
And I personally,
today,
as an Arkansas
you're out by
fan,
lunch.
As an Arkansas fan, I asked you, and I'm disappointing y'all's answers. As an Arkansas fan, I would reject the application if I was the head of my POA.
For her?
To allow Livy.
It's
one thing to be on a boat with the LSU cheerleaders, which I'm giving up next Wednesday because I want to work.
You're not giving
next
anything
Wednesday at Atlanta at SEC Media Day.
You're only giving up. The only thing you're giving up is rejection.
Well, at least the possibility of rejection. That being said, I would reject the status as an Arkansan and Razorback fan through and through.
Just the sacrifices you make are just bravo.
They grow by the day.
Bravo. Yeah, the sacrifices you make for all of us.
Just
the things you do for the natural state are just unbelievable.
Doing my duties. Doing my duties. Media. We mentioned Atlanta. We're at Media Days next week. Notable guys. You've got Campbell, Taylor Green, Xavier Sorey representing Arkansas along with Sam Pittman. The guys that stood out to me on this list: Caden Proctor, the kid that went to Iowa, got a bunch of money and then went back to Alabama. Jackson Arnold, Oklahoma transfer, now Auburn's quarterback. Garrett Nussmeier, probably the best quarterback in the SEC. That Whit Weeks kid who ate you alive in Fayetteville last year. That one hurt. Austin Simmons, new Ole Miss quarterback. Arch, who's going to get the Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow, that type of treatment where every camera, every news person is around him. And Diego Pavia, the Vanderbilt quarterback. You counted it was 11 QBs on this list?
I think that's right.
Yeah. Those are kind of the ones that as I was going up and down the list that stood out to me that we'll get a chance to hear from next week.
All right, that's your SEC updates brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group, your number one source for top quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job, APAC has you covered, and no job's too big or too small. If you need expert advice, their construction consultant services are always there to ensure your job stays on track as well. 479-587-3300 is their number. 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
JT Hot Springs brings up an excellent point here in the Loose Automotive Group hotline. The SEC will always be able to cheat because the office is in Birmingham and they won't let us see actual footage, imaging, or whatever they use. It will be kept secret in the SEC offices. Thank you, JT. Another JT in Laurel, Mississippi says the pass interference call in Saban's first year at Alabama still comes to mind. That was the first year. It was 2007. It was 3rd and 8, and there was another phantom pass interference call called on Arkansas. Alabama went on to score a touchdown and win that game. Would have been your only win against Nick Saban since he was in Tuscaloosa. Yeah. Instead, he reeled off.
Even then, they were trying to put the shaft to Arkansas. Yeah.
Except he reeled off.
All part of the master plan to make Nick Saban great.
I'm glad you finally have come to your senses on that. I love how we've opened not necessarily. I enjoy opening wound, but like these moments in time that I still remember on how Arkansas got hosed by the officials. And I know like Clay talks about a play against SMU back in the day. There's countless others that you just feel like got the shot. I think the deal with that is like we have, and this football team's no exception. Several others that we mentioned are like you as an Arkansas football fan, your team rarely has room for error because how many times have we stepped on a football field with another great opponent and been like, we're the better team, like top to bottom. Mm-hmm. It's not. So if it's a 50-50 call goes against you, it's obviously in the long run going to hurt you, especially at the tail end of a game.
Yeah, every fan base has these wounds. They all have these stories. Everyone, even Alabama fans think the refs are out to get them. So we're not alone in our paranoia.
Which is wild. Considering some of the things.
But, last year there were some things that went in basketball, especially basketball.
Went your way.
Went our way. I didn't hear any outcry then.
About time.
Didn't hear any outcry then. I didn't even hear any credit handed out then. Man, we got that
30 plus years.
That 50-50 call went our way.
30 plus years in the Southeastern Conference. Finally, the officials are favoring the Razorbacks. All I can say is it's about time. You are 1,000% accurate. I remember watching games last season, how like we get a ticky-tack foul for us. Billy or Carter, one of the guys would reach in, be a no call. We'd go the other way in a fast break. And I just kind of been looking up. It's like I was waiting on the official to blow his whistle. And it wouldn't happen. Listen, it's
all part of the plan. It's all part of the script.
It's a debt that we have built up. Wrote it. We have built up over the last 30-plus years with the Southeastern Conference. I'm glad it's finally being paid to us. And hopefully it results in a quality SEC season leading to a top seed on their way to Indianapolis, Indiana in 2026.
I mean, we have Coach Cal now, and he got all the calls at Kentucky, so now that he's here,
yeah.
I mean,
we're
getting them all. It's transitive property.
Brought it with him.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Any coaches you're interested next week? This just doesn't have the same, like Spurrier used to be the icon.
Well, who's the most interesting guy there next
Kiffin.
week?
It's not close. It's Kiffin. Smart's boring. He's the best coach in the Southeastern Conference, but he's so boring. He's so monotone. He's not going to say anything.
So was Saban.
No, Saban. We got to distinguish the two. You said this yesterday, and I did take issue with it. There's a major difference between listening to Nick Saban talk, and I know he's a little more open now, being on media. But I mean, you and Chuck made fun of me for having a crush on him because I listen to everything he says when he was coach. Now it's engaging, it's inviting, and he'll get agitated every once in a while. I don't think I've seen.
He's the smartest guy in the room. That's why you listen. But he was not exactly an entertainer up there. But you listen because the content was really good.
You remember when he, I think this was his second to last year, he's up there, and you got this Alabama beat writer ask him a question like, Coach, you guys went a lot to 11 personnel last year. He wanted to sound smart.
Yeah.
And
stupid question.
And Saban goes, what's 11 personnel? And
Yeah.
This kid's not much older than me, and he ends up going and elaborating a little bit. He's like, I know what 11 personnel is. I'm just laughing. It is.
I stumped Saban.
You ask a fair question. It is hard because like these, as a listener, there are questions obviously you want to know about your football team. The fact that you only have one guy that caught a pass last year. Does Taylor going to have anyone to throw the ball to? Sam's obviously on the hot seat, whether it's public or not. Yeah. It's like, well, you have to ask him about that. It's like, it's not the easiest thing in the world to ask these guys questions. Because one,
he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
And number two, we're letting 18 staff members go because we don't have any. In the new world, we're trying to rebalance our money. I don't want to say we don't have any money. That wouldn't be right. But we're counting our nickels. Is that fair?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we're probably not looking to pay a buyout anytime soon. And guess what? A lot of other schools are in that same boat. So I think as hot as some people want to believe these seats are, traditional, conventional lines of thinking on hot seats, I don't think are the same as they once were.
Yeah, 100%. There's you could legitimately, as an Arkansas fan or just someone that watches SEC football, you can make a debate that there are 4 coaches that are on hotter seats than Sam Pittman. Hugh Freeze is number 1, undisputed, no question about it. Then you can debate Venables, Stoops, and Napier, all above Sam Pittman. Now that doesn't mean that if the team has a bad season that Sam Pittman's not going to be the football coach this following year. I'm not saying that, but I think that's a legitimate debate heading into this season.
How much do we really?
Guys.
Well, this guy's got a $15 million buyout. How much do we really not like him? Well, I think I can tolerate him one more year and get that thing down to 10. So give me a little more time to fundraise.
I think the deal on that is like I don't know a single fan out there that doesn't like. There's coaches in the past that you genuinely like. I just don't like the guy. Everyone says before they say something disparaging or dislikable about Sam, they say, I love him as a person, ... but, and then they follow it up. Like that's.
Well, he's not winning enough. I mean, ... he doesn't win enough games. And they may have some other words, but ... he doesn't win enough games. That's the period. I mean, but you know what? How many times you've been embarrassed under Sam Pittman? How many times you've been run out of the building 52-3? Not very many of them. Not many eggs laid.
I think the worst moment was the Mississippi State game 2 years ago. 7-3 the final, and I just wanted to blow my head off.
Say what you want. I mean, the days of Chad Morris and the days of even some of the Bielema years where you were just getting your brakes beat off.
Auburn. Gus was coming in here, former Arkansas.
Sam hadn't let that happen too often. So, I mean, got that. All right, I'll be flying to Atlanta on Sunday. You're going to be driving down there. Wrath Auto Resources getting you something nice to drive. And I know you appreciate Larry and David hooking you up.
Yeah, they always take care of us at Wrath.
Can you pick me up at the airport?
We'll consider it. I might make you get an Uber or a Lyft of some sort because I'm in traffic. There's things I have to worry about.
I got a late flight. Don't worry. I don't get into about 11:30 Sunday night. So.
Well, it is Eastern, so I get an extra hour's sleep if we look at it that way. But Wrath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Wrath Mitsubishi in Springdale. The great thing about both of those locations is when you buy a Wrath Road Ready vehicle, it has a warranty, right? And again, it goes through the Meineke Car Care Center at both locations. So you're going to get a vehicle. I know there's mist, there's things that you've dealt with over the years with pre-owned vehicles or used vehicles that you're not exactly a fan of. Well, I invite you to check out the selection at both of the locations and mention the Meineke Car Care Center. They've taken care of me numerous times. Something as simple as oil changes, brake repairs. There's various things that they can do, tire rotation, and all the things that you want done for your vehicle, they can take care of. Again, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, Mighty Key Car Care Center at both locations, taking care of you with your vehicle from start to finish. I am excited about next week.
It's your Augusta National.
It is. It's fun.
I swear. Hey, Ty, you got your choice of 2 events you can cover this year. Only one. You can go to Augusta National and cover the Masters, or go to SEC Media Days. You're going to Media Days.
You and Chris Harlan at Century Bacon of the Ozarks were making fun of me last week. I am not kidding. If Chairman Ridley called me today and said, Ty, you can come play 18 holes at Augusta National, but you have to cut your hair, I wouldn't do it. Because I have...
If Chairman Ridley called me and said, hey, if you'll cut Ty's hair, you can play,
you'd show
we're holding you down. We're holding you down.
Do that noise again.
You know.
Well, the fortunate thing for my hair and my well-being is that he's never going to call you or me when it comes to that situation.
Yeah. And unless, there's less to sweep up this year than there was last year. So,
that's just mean. That's just rude.
Maybe we could take Chairman Ridley to Gaston's. I think that would sway him to give us the invite. Say, hey, bring that green jacket down here. We'll go to Gaston's. You'll look good in a boat in that green jacket. And you see some out there trying to fish in a sport coat. But seriously, it's not that formal at Gaston's. They do have a lot of fun there, and I love it because you can find the kind of lodging that fits your situation. Don't be cramped up in a little old tiny hotel room. If it's just you going, they got, kind of 1-2-man cabins. But they also have lodges that can fit 20 people. I like their deluxe cabins that have 2 bedrooms, one with twin beds, 2 of them in there, and then a king bed in the other, fireplace, kitchen, refrigerator, all those stuff. You can go down to the restaurant and eat some eggs and bacon and sausage and whatever for breakfast, or I kind of like when I got a little time off, cook a little breakfast. I find that relaxing. Building a fire in the fireplace, maybe not in July, but, come October. And they got high-speed, fast fiber internet so you can stay in touch with the outside world as well. Sometimes I just want to turn that stuff off, though. Gaston's is the perfect place for that. 870-431-5202 if I've tickled your curiosity about something fun to do. There's no better trout fishing in all of North America than what you'll find on the White River at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Do you need to go to a break right now?
This is the Morning Rush.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
All right, I was wanting to play this this one song by Michael Dixon, who sent it to me. It's on, I think it's on iTunes, isn't it, Colton, if I remember that?
On Apple Music, available for streaming.
We're not going to be able to get to it just yet today. But Michael, I promise we will play it tomorrow at some point because it is quite entertaining.
It's a masterpiece of music.
Yes. By the way, TSA is no longer requiring passengers to remove their shoes during airport security. You know how annoying that was to go through a line with TSA and have to take off your shoes, which you know the floor was not sanitized whatsoever. But
you want another beef of mine? Because you got a TSA pre-check. I've got one. Now they're like advertising them, trying to get everybody to sign up.
And they're longer than the normal.
Oh.
What's the point of being part of an exclusive club if it's not exclusive?
Exactly. That's why I signed up for Clear. You done Clear?
You did sign. How much more did you have to pay?
Well, my credit card paid. It was $200 to sign up, but then my credit card gave me a $200 credit.
Oh, that seems reasonable.
Sounds like free to me.
Yeah.
Been a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market, 479-443-0000 or online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. Always something delicious at Richard's Country Meat Market. House-made gourmet burgers, fresh kebabs, premium cuts of beef. You want a bone-in ribeye that's 2 inches thick, they can cut one for you. Richard's Country Meat Market. Stop in and see them or give them a call. They'll have it ready. You can pick it up curbside. 443-0000 for Richard's Country Meat Market.
I've got good news. This will no longer be a beef of yours. Now my phone on Do Not Disturb will vibrate when someone calls. So
I don't want just anyone to disturb. That's not only when I call.
No, I just said it for all of them. Calls, text are one thing, but calls or whatever. So my phone's still on Do Not Disturb all the time, but now it's actually going to accept calls. All right, that's going to do it for today. For Tommy Kraft, Colton Little, I'm Ty Richardson. Halftime with Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Big C is next.
By Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3